All right, so we are continuing work on the Poly CLI today. For those of you who don't know, the Poly CLI is a command line tool written in Rust and basically wraps a bunch of other build tools for 12, let's see, no, we probably 14, close to, no, we didn't do a couple of them. So I think we're back down to 11. 11. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's the official count. 11 different languages, just so that we don't have to remember everything, etc. Oh, that's funny, Nix. Nice. It's pretty good. Lucky number 11. That's right. So that's where we're at. Let's see if we actually have a fresh. So fresh. Okay. Okay, so it's been a little bit since we've worked on this. I've been mostly doing OCaml the last week and a half or so because I felt like it. I will say, not that I do YouTube for views exactly, because let's be real, I don't put that much effort into all of this. I just have fun and meme with people, and you know, we just hang out. But it is a little bit funny. Let's see what the current numbers are. My Rust videos usually get somewhere between 300 to 1,000 views. Just depends on how people are feeling, you know. And I posted an OCaml video, and it's gotten 9 views. 9. And it's been like 2 days. 9 views in 2 days. And this is just a small fuck it, you guys. Small representation of why Prime doesn't do OCaml. Because he actually depends on these numbers. Use a matrix theme for Emacs, about to get 500k views. No, I just thought it was humorous. Hacker man, yeah, exactly. We just need to fit people's idea of what hacker is, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, anyway, those who were here last time I was writing Rust a couple weeks ago, I skill issued really hard because I was being really stubborn about writing this in a very specific way. And it didn't work. And it didn't work for a lot of reasons. It didn't work because the borrow checker, it didn't work because of lifetimes, it didn't work because of OS strings and the difference between string, OsStr. I can go on and on, right? But basically, we are here. And this is the comment I left myself at the end of that stream. Yeah, you'd kind of think so whimsically, but I guess it's what's funny is I actually think OCaml brings in potentially more viewers on Twitch, but less viewers on YouTube. I don't know what that says about the respective communities, but yeah. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Okay. So we tried cloning, Nightshade. We tried cloning. We tried all sorts of shit. But at the end of the day, this code right here is really, really bad. And I knew it was bad, but I still just wanted to go with it, okay? I just wanted to see what happened, okay? And yeah, Twitch and YouTube seem to be very different. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's easy to be successful in both. I think you need basically a team to be successful on both, honestly. Let the man nest his if else statements, right? Exactly. All right, so what is this code supposed to be doing? Basically, the idea was I just want to do something smart for OPAM because, I mean, for Dune exec, because basically Dune exec makes you to run an OCaml project, right? It makes you do sometimes terrible things. Okay, let's just show this real quick, and then we'll see if we can actually code something. And just cast OsStr to string. I tried that too, but I think it's just where it happens to be that is really screwing it up. And it also could be that this, the the args at the end of the day is just like not compatible. So we'll just see. It's definitely a skill. Of course it's a skill issue. Damn it, Nightshade, it's always a skill issue. All right. Okay, so let's just take a look at this real quick. Right, actually, let's just do the Minty tutorial one. All right, because this shows one of the problems. So one of the problems with using this, I think I have Dune. Do I have Dune? Of course I don't have Dune because I don't have OPAM. Okay, it's fine. It doesn't matter if you actually see how it works. Here, let me do this real quick. All right. It's because of my Nix setup right now that I don't have, and I didn't create a flake for this little pointless project. Okay. Now we might have Dune. Oh, we have to run the little OPAM thing. I forget what it is. It's in my ZSH. ZSHRC OPAM, this one. Now we should have Dune. There it is. Okay, so this is the point. If I have a single ML file that I want it to run, we're going to end up having to do Dune exec mint t tutorial, and this is the most cursed part of OCaml. The most cursed part of OCaml is that we call it exe. No matter what architecture we're on a Unix system right now, Mac OS #workpays, and we still call it exe. Okay, and that's fine. It's whatever. It's not the worst thing. It's not the best thing by any means. It's pretty cursed though, right? Now if we're in a Dune project, like there's an actual Dune project here, I just have a Dune file. It works a little bit differently. So let's just go into our API for OCaml. All right, had to wait for the next build to happen, but that's okay. Okay, so if I wanted to run this project is called Hello World. It's a little bit less cursed, right? I just say Dune exec hello world. Okay, fine. There's something wrong. It's probably because I now am using Nix to run this. Oh yeah, because it's OCaml 4.14 now. That's fine. I don't really care that much. The point is, this is how you should have to do it. But since I built it with Nix, I actually just run this bin. Okay. Bad example. I guess we need to find an example so that we can actually test this on though. So let's see if I have anything else. Oh, that's right. I have a test. I think test is OCaml. It is beautiful. Okay, so if I say Dune exec test, perfect. Here's our example we need. Right. So again, this is your project name. And what I want to do, just as a point of reference, even though I know OCaml well enough that I probably will not use this tool for OCaml, is I just want to find this test.opam file. and then find out that the project name is test. That's all we want to do in this code. Okay. Cursed. There you go, Char. Exactly. So funny. Okay. So that's what this code was supposed to do, but as we know, sometimes if you want to do something kind of straightforward, once in a while Rust gets in your way, right? And we kind of cry about it. And we get stuff like this. And we say, okay, well, I know how to do this. I can make this work. I can cast this to string and expect blah. But the problem is we expected a str and then we found a string. Now, I tried things. I tried maybe an as ref. That didn't work. I tried doing the borrow, making it a str. That didn't work either. We also tried. Let's see, what is it? Is it toStr or asstr? I always forget. Asstr. We tried asstr. That didn't work. Etc. Etc. Now I could make this a vec of strings and then just copy everything as owned strings. But I'm not sure that's going to work either. Did you try to increase the lifetime scope of the string? I guess I haven't. Let me just think about this. The main problem here, of course, in case you're wondering, I'm sure, is a lifetime problem. Yeah, because basically what we're doing is we're saying we have an owned value, and now we're taking a reference from it. But by the time we get to here, or we get out of this block, then we don't have that value anymore, right? So we could try to solve this. We could continue down this path, or we could just rewrite it with a match, which will probably be prettier. We can try a couple things since we have a couple rusty people here. If anybody has suggestions, let's just do this and say let p equals project dot into string dot expect blah, and this just casts an OS string to a normal string, by the way. Add a variable before let args to lift the string and increase the lifetime. Oh, come on, Nightshade. Add a variable before let args. Now, I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Like what is the variable going to say? I mean, see what I'm saying? Okay. So now let's just do this real quick. This won't work, but we'll just pretend for a second. We should just still get an error, which is P does not live long enough, right? Borrowed value doesn't live long enough. I'm guessing what you're saying to me is I could add something like this, like mutable, and then just do a mute. Yeah. And that's the cursed imperative sort of thing that I don't know if I can bring myself to do. Like I could, let's just do it. Okay. So let's say we say let mute P equals, and this is going to be an answer. Okay. Do I have to? So why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? let mute p. I don't know why this hates me right now. Expected string. Oh, it's just because his code is wrong. It's just because Amit has skill issues. See, that's what I usually do is I just do like a little toString here, and then we have this, right? And then here we would reassign that p like this, and then we'd get the little p as stir, and then it still kind of hates this, and I don't know why. Because it is overwritten before being read. Oh, it's just a warning that we're not actually using this. That's funny. Use string new instead. It's true. I yelled at you last time, didn't I? I think I yelled at you last time for that. Okay, so that just initializes an empty string. Yeah, that's nice. We don't even have the string at all. Your heart, whimsically. Your heart controls it. The mode you're on, any other settings you have, etc., etc. For the most part, modes tend to have an opinionated idea of how indentation should go. Sometimes I believe the modes do the indentation. Now I can say if I want tabs or spaces or something like that, but I basically never have to think about indenting something properly as long as I have the mode installed, if that tells you anything. When I'm in Haskell, it just handles the indentation. I wrote some assembly the other day. It handled the indentation. Didn't even have to think about it. It was pretty freaking awesome. So yeah. Okay, so we still have this whole warning stupid thing. Value assigned to p is never read. Maybe it is overwritten before being read. Yes, it is in fact. That is what we're doing to tell this that we still want to use that p. Okay, so technically, let's see. Does this build? It keeps aligning stuff in the way I would like, but oh yeah, that's hard. It's when you need like a formatter that you all agree on and format rules, right? Which is what I usually use on shared projects. We use, I guess it's line format enclosure, right? Let equals p after the args use. Oh, I see. You think that's going to get rid of that warning? Is that what you're saying? Let's see if this gets rid of that warning. It does. I hate it. I hate everything about this. Emacs is making more effort to make the code pretty, yeah. Yeah. That can be annoying. What do you write at work, whimsically? I don't remember. Yeah, we can. I want to see if I can make it nicer, though. I don't know. But for now, let's just see if this actually works. We'll see if it works. Maybe I should log something. It would be nice if you just logged something like, oh, we found project da da da. Let's do this. Well, of course that works. It's not what I meant. Poly o camel run. Let's go. Didn't have to tell it what we're running. You want to run with OCaml. So eventually we'd probably want to be like, you want to run project name with OCaml. But for now, let's just make this dumb. And we will just print something out here. And we'll just say, let's see. Okay, let's see what happens when we run this in a non-OCaml project. Let's see, what do we have? EOC Racket's a good example. there's no OCaml here. So if I say poly OCaml run, we just get no entry point, thread main panicked, blah blah blah. Okay, so we could exit and we could panic here, but for now I'm just going to make this simple, and we're just print lining stuff. Is that right? Is it print line like this? I always forget. It's been a while. It's been a while. I say that every time I write Rust. Yeah, it's print line exclamation point. Okay. Print line. No project found. Specify with args. No project found in directory. Specify with args. Let's try specifying with --args. Okay, that looks fine. And if we do have a project, oh, let's see. Well, this is a little bit different. Let me see. Actually, I probably just want, oh, right. I already do know entry point there. That's what this error is right there. I'm just being dumb. Just kidding. Okay. No project found in directory. Try specifying with --args. Okay. So then if we get past this, then we know that there is a project. So here we would probably just say something like, oh, you can use eprint line. Oh, nice. Look at you learning Rust, Amit. You've learned so much Rust lately. You know more Rust than I do at this point, which probably isn't that hard. Okay. What am I supposed to say? Oh yeah, I want to say what the project is that we found. Found project. Let's do it down here though. Right. Yeah, let's do it down here. Found project. And then we'll just say and p like this. Is that not how you do it? Am I being silly? Did I forget how to do this? Formatting is not supported. Oh, does println not do formatting automatically for some reason? Oh my god, I just forgot how to do this. I was using OCamls. Oh my god. Sorry guys, just kidding. Just kidding. All right. Yeah, that's fair. I don't use anyhow, and I don't use a logger. Basically, like normal software things. I don't do those things. Okay, so let's just install it again. And there we go. That still does that. That's what we want. And then test. Love it. Found project test. This is perfect code. I don't know what I was so worried about. Okay, I think I did a whip commit, so let's just do an undo. And just commit the working state. Dune exec finds project for you. Yeah, nobody got time for that. It's funny. All right, good deal. Okay, so now that I hate this code and the way that it works, and we have a clean commit, let's try to rewrite it in a way that I don't hate. Now eventually we'll probably need like some sort of abstraction over this, but for now, I just want to try rewriting the code in a way that feels better to me. So let's see if we can do it. I think what I'm going to do, let me think about this. Like, this is fine. I don't care about this. It's mostly the code under here that I hate. So I'll just write it above it. So let's see. If self.name equals Dune and self.args 0 equals exec. Obviously, I could do a match on that. That doesn't matter. But I'm still going to write it over. Okay, so we have let mute entries read dir, and the path is here. We're going to let that just return a result. And then we have this. Let project equals. Okay. So originally we did this entries.findMap. Let's see. So read dir is there. FindMap. I forget what FindMap. FindMap returns an OS string. Right. And the entries. Okay, so let's look at entries again. Let mute entries. Oh yeah, it's this weird read dir thing, which just doesn't tell you a hell of a lot. But then when you turn it into an iterator, basically you have find map. And that gives us these results of all of the entries in that directory, or an error potentially. So if that is okay, then we can get the entry.path. Maybe I don't hate this code as much as I thought I did. I mean, you can follow it at least. All right. And then, good times. Okay. And then I added a clone, always a good sign. p.clone dot extension extracts the extension, right, dot filter. Oh, right. This is when I'm reaching back out is right here. So it's really this code that is probably the worst part of all of this. I mean, there is some nested shit here that doesn't look great. I'm just trying to think if there's something else that I'd rather do here. Yeah, I don't think I want to. I was just thinking through it. It's like I could, of course, like map over the entry, this result of entry, I mean, instead of doing this if let and then else none. But yeah, I think what I want to do is pattern match on extension and then grab the file stem out, basically. Right, because file stem's an option as well. Okay, so actually, I don't want to change all this code up here for now. I do kind of hate the whole let p thing, but oh well. It is funny that I just called this p here. Okay, so let's just write a match here. We're going to match p. It's been a while since I wrote a match, so just give me a second. Actually, we're going to match a tuple, pretty sure, of p, and I might be able to get rid of the clone here. We're going to match a tuple of p.extension and p.filestem. Okay. Is it illegal to program in C now? Yeah, absolutely. 100% illegal. That's why we're writing Rust. We would be writing C right now, but now we can't. It's too bad. So funny. If you don't know it, ironically, I'm being ironic, yeah. It's just because of a random thing that the government put out in the US. And that's the jokes. Fast load scripts. I don't even know what that is. Doesn't sound fun. Okay, so I think what I want to do is just say sum ext, sum stem, and then what do we do on matches? I've been writing too much OCaml, so I'm forgetting syntax. Do I have any matches here? I forget how to write I forget if we use, do we use fat arrows? I think we use fat arrows. Or we can just do, well, it depends, right? We can either do a fat arrow or we can do something else. So actually, I can do this, right? Like I can say, can I do a literal string in a match statement like that, like I can in other languages? I want to say I can do this. And then I'm going to say stem dot to OsStr. Match pattern case expression. Cool. Thanks, Koopa. I appreciate it. I forget things a lot. And basically, if it's anything else, then I'm just going to return a none. And this is fine. Okay, So now let's just go ahead and comment out this code and see if this actually works. It might not. I might have to do a conditional OS string literal. I don't know what you're talking about. Expected reference. Oh, I have to use. Oh, that's so funny. Is this what you were saying? Okay. Expected reference stood FFI OsStr found static stir. Nice. Okay. As in this sum needs to be converted to OS string. So I have to look at how do you do an OS string literal? I'm gonna look it up, guys, okay? What am I doing? What am I doing to myself? We've got Poly for this. Right here. Look. It opened it up in the wrong effing browser because I have my default browser set wrong right now, but that's fine. That's fine. OS string. Oh, you could just do .into. I wonder if that would work. I wonder if the match would understand .into. That would be interesting to see. It'd be kind of weird in a way if it did. It hates everything about me right now. Okay. Did not like that. Let's get rid of that for a second. Okay. I mean, I could do like, I could like parameterize it, I guess. I could do that. Look at OsStr. Okay. Thanks for telling me where to look instead of telling me the answer. I mean, I do appreciate it. OsStr new foo. Oh, okay. Well, this looks fine. This looks fine, but I can't do the same thing the other way, I'm guessing. Let's see. Let's just see what happens. OsStr. I cannot get my caps right today for some reason. Okay. Failed to resolve use of undeclared type. Sure. And where does this come from? Stood FFI? Okay. I still don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try it. Still don't like me? Expected tuple struct or tuple variant found associated function OsStr new. Oh, interesting. Huh. I wonder if I do have to check this in a conditional somewhere else. So before I did like an ext2 stir equals some opam. p.clone.extension.filter ext x2 stir equals some opam. That's kind of interesting. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is that the pattern match doesn't allow this. I think that's the issue. Hey, Prophet, what's up? We're just figuring out some Rust pattern matching stuff right now. Trying to pattern match on an OS string. So far, then use if guard. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe I should just use an if guard. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, love this. This is so easy. I'm so glad my editor does this sometimes. New is a function, right? Yeah, that was the issue is like if I put the actual string in there when I had an OS string, then it wasn't, well, technically it's an and OsStr. It wouldn't work with a string literal there because it's not the right type. I was just wishing that it would work. It would know what I was trying to do. But that's okay. I get why it doesn't. I get why it doesn't. I just wish that it did. And I kind of wish that for an OsStr, I could still just use a string literal and Rust would just be like, oh yeah, I know how to do those things, but I know you can't exactly go between them reliably every time. I feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I feel. Okay, so then we say if x dot toStr might not need that part equals opamp. Is that how it works, or is it when? I'm just gonna look up match. I can't believe I can't remember the syntax right now. Okay, it is if. Okay, if blah blah blah, then that. Okay. So what do you hate about me? Expected enum option and stir, but found reference to stir. Oh wait, because x2 stir is still a x2 stir is still an option. Okay. I hate how many nested. So this code's just ugly no matter what, and it's because of how much nesting is required in order to get this whole effing thing out of it. Okay. So in the past, I used p.filestem. So this is an OsStr to OsString, right? And to OsString is what? What does it return? It returns an OsString. Okay. And what is stem to start with? Stem is an OsStr. The reason we don't want to use that is because, well, maybe that doesn't matter. Let me think. What do we do before? The main point is that we're returning this and we're trying to get to a project, which would be the stem. I'm just wondering if there's any reason to not just use this as an, like, is there a reason to not take? Oh, because I'm changing it into an owned, right? That's the point of the toOS string, is now I'm changing it into an owned. I think that's why I did that. Expected enum. So all I need to do is make this a sum. That's all I'm missing. I was trying to think through it. Just use expect. FedEx is not helpful for Rust streamers today. Knocked off my Rust schedule today. Ugh. So not cool, Scott. So not cool. But yeah, thanks for dropping in. OSIC1, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, OCaml is win. Yeah. And so I kept wanting to write win, and I don't know. I'm writing Rust rarely enough that I regularly forget the syntax in between streams. So that's always fun. Usually like my trailing commas makes me happy. Don't have to think about it if I want to add a new case sometime. Okay. I think this should work. Is that any better than what I had before? I don't know. It's still pretty bad. Like, how would you actually want this to be formatted? Let's see what cargo format does to it. That's better. I get why they would do that. I think that is probably more readable. Add some curlies. Let p equals entry dot path match p dot extension p dot file stem sum ext sum stem. I think the only thing that it really does for me, honestly, yeah, I went back to it. Sorry. That's a good point. I kind of forgot because I didn't select it again. It changed it to this. It was all on one line without the curly braces. Thanks for the call out. I mean, this is already pretty bad because of how nested it is, right? It's a little bit icky, but that's okay. We could probably figure that out if we wanted to. It's not that bad. Thanks. So the main thing that this buys us over our previous is that I didn't have to clone the path buff. And the reason I had to clone the path buff is because then I had to use it here with file stem. And maybe I could have gotten around that if I did some refs or something, but I think that's the main benefit to the match. I think we're going to keep it as a match. Okay. And I can delete my to-do because this code actually works now. It doesn't get rid of the thing that I hate even more than that other code, which is this right here, that I'm declaring the P only for the sake of this effing lifetime. I kind of hate that. I kind of hate it. But realistically, this will get better when I make an abstraction over this anyway. Okay. Got distracted by a Discord conversation. Time for lazy static global variables. I mean, I already have some, right? That's what my maps are. They're all lazy static hash maps. All right, Nightshade, see you, dude. Okay, so we don't need this anymore because I'm not actually declaring it as a type. And that's fine. Okay, so let's see. Let me just put this all back on screen. Let me see if there's anything else I want to change here. For now. I guess the main point is that like we should have like a required arg concept maybe. Because some of these things are in fact required. And that might make some of this better anyway. Yeah, I hate early exits. I know I'm a bad person for that probably, but I just don't like them. But it is a nice way to get rid of rightward drift. You're not wrong. I know you do. I mean, I don't think you can survive in C and C++ without liking early exits. um it's a survival extinct. Yeah. I don't mean to be laughing at your English, unless that was a joke. I mean, I guess you mean instinct, but yeah. I have a feeling that I would probably speak your native language worse than you speak English to me. I just have this feeling, since I literally don't know a single word in it. So there you go. Okay. I think that's what's really funny. Like, I probably ranted about this before, but one time somebody came in chat and they were like, man, these people, like, I just can't even understand them, blah, blah, blah. And just kind of like pseudo racist bullshit, you know? And I was just kind of like, it's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, people, it can be hard if you're trying to understand somebody, like, and they're trying to explain something and, you know, whatever. The accent doesn't work for you or whatever it is. But it's like, dude, these people are speaking like a language that they don't usually have to speak. And they're not only doing that, they're teaching difficult technical concepts in their non-native language. Like, what is there to shit on about that? That's impressive. I don't know. People are weird. All right. I think this is fine. I don't feel like changing anything else. Like, it's pretty ugly, but it is what it is. We'll go back and fix it later when it actually matters. What's funny is I said to do print failure of open to console, but actually when you do an expect, it panics anyway and then prints that message. So that's not a meaningful to do. Thanks, Purplish. I needed that. Okay, let's see if we have anything else. Just the right time. Give me that LGTM. Ready for production. Okay. So I think this looks good. I'm trying to decide what I want to do next with it. I don't actually know. I guess we need to find another example of a required argument, and that will help us figure out like what the right abstraction is to handle those two things. But do you want that to be a panic? Yeah, I do. Because well, that's a good question. I was pretty sure I did until you said that. Okay. Love this. Love this. Love this. Where did that open? Yeah. I'd say if I'm supposed to open something and it fails to open, then I'm fine with that being a panic for now. Okay. So now let's add something else that has a required argument. Let's figure out what that is. We could do racket just for funsies. Wouldn't you want that to print a nice error message? Yeah, but I have a lot of those. What profit? Basically, what I'm going to have to do when I want nice error messages is I'm going to have to look at all my expecs. This is the only one I've made nice, probably, is the one I just did. There's this really nice one, blah. There's failed to open, really good. Failed to execute process, wait failed. Those are all really good. Run failed, you bastards, might be the best. That might be the best one. But yeah, so that'll be a to do. Is a nice error messages. Classic. Okay. So let's see. Let's go up and see what else has a required argument. Closure doesn't, for the most part. I can't think of anything that has a required argument in Closure from those commands. Not really. All of them are just done normally. There's optional arguments to a lot of this. Same with cargo build, run, and test. Not really any required arguments there. So that's fine. We did the Dune exec one. Yay. I haven't touched Haskell in long enough to remember what I'm supposed to do with Haskell. but it's still there. I'm going to pretend this just works. Of course, Prophet doesn't even use stacks, so she probably can't even tell me. Does this just work without arguments? I don't actually remember. Racket's the one that I remember. Oh, you do use stack? Oh, who was it? Oh, maybe it's Kenran that doesn't use stack. You're probably the main two people that use Haskell that I know. Those all work without arguments. Awesome. Yeah, that might be Kenran. He's great. Just another German Haskell user. I don't know what you guys are up to over there writing Haskell. Pretty sus. Yeah, totally. I mean that's the thing. It's like if you're accent, blah blah blah. It's just most of the time it's not coming from a great place. And it was a little sad because it was somebody who'd been watching for a while at the time. And I was just like, dude, come on, like that's ridiculous. And I kind of ranted about it, and they never came back. And all for the best, right? I don't know. I don't know where the dude was from or anything, but usually if you're going to say that, it's not anything good. It's not anything good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's do Racket because it's the one I can think of. Basically, if you're going to run a Racket file as a script, you just, there's different ways of doing it. You can actually use it as like a script where you can just run it like you would any other script without saying anything, like user bin env Racket or something like that. But if you just want to run a Racket program, you have to say the file name. So let's play with that and see what it's like. So a good example of that, I think, is probably my Racket API, which is here. And should be here. Server.racket. Okay. Now the only thing is, since I don't actually write that much Racket, I don't actually know, and it's not like Racket's like got huge industrial usage or anything, but I don't know like how often people would do it this way. Is it time for OBS and Rust? No. I do kind of need an idea of another Rust project because I don't know how much longer I want to meme with this one. I don't know yet. But anyway, we can actually just say racket source server.racket. Oh, Racco for project management or for package management and stuff. Right. So just running racket source server racket runs it. Yay. Okay, let's look into that because I actually don't know about it. It'd be nice to know about. Hubble Racco. Come on. Racco racket. Racco program supports various racket tasks from a command line. The first argument to Racco is always a specific command name. For example, Racco makes starts a command to compile racket source module to bytecode format. Oh, interesting. The Racco make command accepts a few flags. Compiles path interpreted as a collection-based module path as for require. Compiles argument modules in parallel. Okay, this is cool. So there's Racco make, Racco exe to create standalone executables, Racco distribute, Racco planet. Wow. Racco package management. Interesting. As Rajo. Instead of Racco. The Racket Package Manager lets you install new libraries and collections, and the Racket Package Catalog helps other Racket programmers find libraries that you make available. I actually had no idea this existed. It's so funny. It's probably Racco. Probably. I think you should say it however you want, whimsically. What is a package? When I originally did the tour of languages, I actually felt like I liked Common Lisp better than Racket, but I think it was mostly because of skill issues, and I kind of think I like Racket the best, honestly. I know Common Lisp is a lot more industry specific, or like used in industry, but I do kind of like Racket. It pronounced it as I pronounce it as Apple. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can say Apple. It's fine. Nobody's going to know what you're talking about. Like this is just so obvious to me, but it's freaking cool. A package source can refer to a zip file, a tar file, a Git repository, a directory structured website, or a few other possibilities. Let's go. Is that not cool? I think that's really cool. That's a lot of fun. Huh. Nice. I like it. The PLT package catalog at packages. I don't. I know Doll's like really cool tool. Even though a lot of people are like Doll is dead. I don't know. But I know it's very neatly designed is the take that I have heard for the most part. Racco package install package name installs a package. See, I never needed this because Racket has a built-in web server. So I just used all of the core libs, if you will, when I did the tour. This is so fun. Neat. Protobuf. That's what we need. Is there a protobuf package? Protobuf. Let's go. All right. That's really cool. Didn't know anything about this. You can just do let x equals some path and it evaluates whatever is at that address. Yeah. I like it. It's similar, but probably. So a module is just a record. Yeah. That's so cool. So probably a much like safer, sane implementation of the way like that I can give Nix a path, whether it's a GitHub or local path or anything like that, and it will bring it in. But this probably actually works well. Well, now I don't know if I have another example to do. I mean, I was going to do the whole racket thing, but this seems like if you're really going to use Racco, I feel like you're just going to want to do that. Maybe what I need to do is the required arguments. And maybe that's what I need to do next is required arguments. And I'd have to think of like what the right the right abstraction would be for that. Oh god, Amit. I know. I just can't even handle it right now. I can't even handle it. I had a tweet about this because, and I don't mean this in a political way. So just hold on. Okay, guys. It's in a generally all reasonable people can laugh about how dumb most politicians are away, right? And it is somewhere right here. Right here. This is it. Yeah. It's like these people have typically the worst takes on technology. And then we're like celebrating the fact that they finally match our own. And they're just like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Here's what has always been weird for me in learning English. How do I hear someone say Racco and tell if they're saying Racco or Racco? Yeah, you don't. You don't. English is not an easy language for non-native speakers, for sure. It's a weird ass language. I mean, it's just like the ultimate melting pot of languages, right? And it doesn't make any sense. I mean, like there's rules and all that stuff. And I used to teach English actually. So I know what those are in case anybody's going to say, no, it makes sense because of this and this. It's like, no. Just simmer down. But yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. It's a ridiculous language. You just have to know it's just all these different rules, right? Like, I mean, does the word exist or not, basically? I mean, there's some rules for pronunciation, but there's a lot of exceptions because of how many different influences there are in English. Yeah, no, I mean, it's hilarious. It's hilarious to me. All right, so I guess we need like required args, which means we have to change the way that we have to basically change our bin struct, I think, to be something besides what it is. And there's a couple things that I don't like. You got to watch some Balatro and learn about the game. There's a new roguelike and I don't know about it. I have no idea what any of those things are, whimsically. It's great. Okay. So there's two things that I want to accomplish with a bin change. One is if I don't have any arguments, it would be nice if like if there's nothing there, it would be nice if there was nothing there. You know what I mean? See what I'm saying? Because a lot of these don't have args, and it seems silly to just put an empty vec all over the place. I don't think it's actually a vec. I don't remember what it is. Slice, a box slice of static stirs. Yeah, sorry, whimsically. Just not always with it, you know. I'm not as cool as you are. You're so hipster with your roguelike and your BQN. So hipster. It's funny. Avatar? Yeah, we say avatar. Evader? Everybody says evader, right? Isn't it Evader? Evader, the last airbender? All right. I don't know if I can think about this right now. Maybe I need to sit down. I'm getting tired of standing up. All right. Before we sit down, we're going to do a stretch. We're all doing it. Everybody do a stretch. I can't show you this one on camera because it's just a little, it's probably against TOS. But you just got to stretch it, okay? Okay. All right. Hey, Marcius. Thanks for the follow. It's Sanskrit. How do you pronounce it? Hail, Cimarron. Let's see. This is probably Russian circles. Yep, Russian circles. This is a very common playlist that I use that I think I made public. Like the fireplace, thanks. But yeah, Russian circles is great. Nice post-rock, metalish instrumentals. But there's some other good ones on that playlist too. Okay. Now that we're sitting, maybe I can figure this out. So the bin having a name, that makes sense. Yeah, same. Cool. The args is okay, and we could continue to make this work. But I think to have like actually nice error messages, we probably need to have a concept of required. Now, I can handle that in the logic, kind of like I'm doing with Dune right now. But it would kind of be nice to have that represented in the type as well. I just have to think about how I'd want to do this. I mean, of course, I could like change. We could have something like this. And we could have required. And then we could have I don't know, name or value. Probably makes more sense. Be a static stir. But it's a little annoying. I don't know, maybe an enum's not bad. An enum's not a bad idea, because this is just going to be way too verbose, in my opinion. So instead, we could have an enum of arg. Forgetting enum syntax at this very moment. It does just use curly braces. Okay. Okay. We could have separate constructors. Yeah, it's true. I'm just playing with this idea for a second. So we could have something like an optional arg with a string, and then a required arg with a string. But we don't really have a concept of required arg. Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Could you use cow and remove the lifetime hack? Possibly, I don't know. I haven't messed with cow at all. I've only used boxes to mess with lifetimes, honestly. Boxes and lifetime parameters. I mean, I guess box isn't really about the lifetime as much as the memory representation, right? So actually what probably, maybe this makes more sense, is that we have args as a box static stir. And then we have required args in some ways. Required args. And then we have everything. Cal allows you to use stir and string at the same time. Ah, interesting. So for every command, we have a name. We have args that we're supplying. And then we have a number of required args. And so it's a little bit unintuitive. Like if we just made this an int, let's see, I guess we'd probably want a uint 8. How do I do this? Oh my god. U8. I know Rust, really. And then what would this actually look like? We'd have to do something like this. And we would say required args, U8, required args. Yeah. It's all that C dev I do. Okay. And then this would end up being... It'd be a little bit annoying, but basically what this would be is something like... We would say 1 in all of these. I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, put how much you hate this in chat. Is this peak development? Might be. Boom. So perfect. Whoops. I messed up parens on some of these. Whoops. Nope. Of course, that's what's there now. No, it's still messed up. It does something else. Because here, okay. So there's all these examples, right? These all are just ones. Yeah, I know. Typical me. Typical me. Okay. There we go. So good at this. I did it right the first time. No, I didn't do it right the first time. I did it right the second time. I'm not even consistent with my mistakes. You still hate this or what? No. See, these are fine. Okay, so where this would actually matter is one of the only places where we actually have required args. Which is up here. I think actually just having separate constructors maybe makes this less annoying, kind of like Prophet was saying. Where's OCaml? Okay, so for instance, Dune exec cannot be called with without specifying a project or a file, right? Something you want to run. So technically, this would be one that has a required argument of 2. Now, it's a little confusing because the first argument is exec. But again, this is just like my own information, right? Let me just see how I actually want to do this then. Maybe we just have different constructors. So we have new, which is fine. We have then no args that you only have to specify a name. And then I do everything else for you. Yeah, arity of args needed for the command. You could say it that way, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's what required args is, like number of required args. So if we say no args, so new, you can specify your required args. No args. Well, how do I want to do this? Ben 1 arg? No, I hate that too. There's a couple of them that have none, right? And then most of them just have 1. This is when I get bad at naming things. I guess I'm just going to call it no args. It's fine. Stop thinking about it so much. Self new name box new this and 0. Okay. So good. You could say new with arity. No, because the whole point is I just want to make it easier up here. Right? So I want to say, instead of having to specify this, what I just painstakingly did, let's change this to comma space 1 and that. So instead of saying bin new line uberjar, I just say bin new What am I trying to say? Ben new. Yeah, it doesn't even have to say new, right? We can just say Ben. I'm kind of thinking about calling it Ben command. I know that doesn't maybe make a lot of sense. Ben command line uberjar. I don't know what I want to call it. Am I thinking too much? Probably. We're just gonna call it bin1, and we can change it to something else later if we really want to. How about that? And so bin1 is going to actually take name, and I think I can get away with this. Static stir args. I'm gonna see if this works. Might not because the way slices work. And this is just going to say new self, new name, box, new arg, comma, 1. Looks like that'll work. And then here I can get rid of all the box new malarkey. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's actually not bad. I think that's fine. bin1, bin none, bin0. I think this is fine. Yeah, I could do bin2 or just maybe for 2 I have bin new. I don't know. We'll see. I think this will be nicer though. It'll feel like there's less boilerplate everywhere. So let's just do this, make sure it works the way that I'm thinking it will. Box new this slash there. And the s slash this slash nothing. Oh, forgot to delete it extra parens. S slash paren. That looks good. Okay. I did that right. This is fine. And let's see. Static variable missing should have upper snake case name, e.g. missing. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, hey, Sirenheart. Sorry I missed your chat. I was thinking about stuff. We're building a little CLI tool. That's basically like a Polyglot build tool. It basically has the ability to build and run and test and other things. 11 different languages. Kind of just for fun. Okay, let me do a quick message check. We'll see if we can get something working with these new constructors and go from there. Okay, all good. So there's something it doesn't like about this. Did I screw something up? Let's look at the diff. Wrong terminal. Okay. Wrong directory. It might just be that I need to do all the other things. That's probably what it is. I don't see anything actually wrong with this. So we might just have to keep changing everything and find out if it works out in the end. That sounds good, right? Okay. So let's just do this. Let's start with... Oh, that's funny. This is wrong anyway. Oh, I didn't change the constructor. That might be another part that's very wrong about this. Hey, Togglebit, what's up? I didn't even see you were streaming. Yeah, no worries. Have a good night. Hey Raiders, how you doing? Thanks so much for the raid, Togglebit. If you don't follow Toggle, he's a great follow, great Rust streamer. And let me give him a shout out real quick. And yeah, thank you so much. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Meta. Either one is fine. I'll occasionally dox my first name in frustration. And right now we're building just a little tool. Somebody actually just asked me this. But we're building a little tool called Poly. It's kind of just a silly tool, but we're using Clap, making a little CLI. And basically what Poly does is it allows you to use 11 different languages with one tool. Build, test, REPL, open docs if you want to. You can do all that stuff. So it's in a working state for like most things, but we're just trying to make it a little bit better, giving me an opportunity to learn more about how to build a tool like this, how to work with the file system in potentially interesting ways, and just, you know, play around with Rust some more. So yeah, the languages supported until now are up here. Let's see. Let's look at the source of lang. It might not work because I'm not in a working state. I'll stash this real quick. There we go. It works with everything but these three right now. So as much as it can anyway. Some of these things, there's not exactly a concept of like building, but it mostly works for these sorts of things. It doesn't do anything all that special so far, but it was kind of a way, because what I did last November is I did 12 languages in 4 weeks. And it was a way for me to not have to remember how to build all these things. And also a nice way for me to open docs if I want to. So I can say something like polyocaml docs. And then, oh, that's actually a meme. I forgot I made a meme about that one. We'll try another one. We'll open this. And let me move that to the right window. And you guys can actually see it. Yay, C++ reference. Look at that beautiful, beautiful website. Oh, the meme. And then you can also run it with -d and it just prints it out. So for OCaml, the meme is actually just that if you do polyocaml docs, I'll show you what it opens. it opens twitch.tv Dylan Mulroy. That's the meme. It's a joke. Who's a no camel streamer. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, that's what it does. Thanks for asking. Yeah, as far as Rust things go, been doing this. Last year, before the tour, we did data structures and algorithms in Rust. All those videos are up on YouTube, and that was a lot of fun. And for those of you who don't know me, I will just show you that real quick. What is the project called? It's called Rust DSA, not DSA Rust. Got it. So we did all these data structures in Rust, which was a lot of fun. And that was a way to, it was kind of my way of like learning Rust on a deeper level. And I'm still not like expert by any means at Rust, but definitely learned a lot doing things like doubly linked lists and ring buffers, and also doing unsafe Rust with stacks and all that stuff too. So you can always check that out. And if you just want to look at the code, which is fun and certainly not without its warts, that is here. So yeah, welcome for sure. And I do a little bit of variety on the stream, in the sense I'm a variety streamer. Sometimes we just do hot tubs. Sometimes we hang out and we talk about politics. No, I'm just kidding. We don't do any of that. I do OCaml and Rust and Nix actually quite a bit on the stream. And if you don't know, Dylan, Alt F4, and myself have been doing Nix at night most Sundays. We took a couple Sundays off. But we have, I think, 5 parts so far of Nix at night. The hot tub, totally worth a sight. So that's what we were doing on Sundays, and that was my learning Nix arc. And we're getting closer. My current dev setup is in Nix. I do have a Nix flake for Poly. But it's low for whatever reason, so I usually just use Cargo. But I use Nix a lot with OCaml projects now, because it seems to work a little bit better than OPAM. So that is what I'm up to. So thanks. Let me know if you have any questions. Right now, we can get back to our code. And we are changing our model a little bit for some of these things to have this concept of like required arguments. So for instance, in our hash maps, which are somewhere here. Yeah. For instance, before we'd have this, and, basically we're calling cargo build. It's a lot of boilerplate. It was annoying to type all this out. It could have been nice for me to actually think about like, how can I make these constructors better for me from the beginning? But we're kind of going to something a little bit nicer, like these bin ones down here, for instance. So I think what I'm going to do to start with, I'm thinking about this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call this function new. And it's basically going to do this. So actually, I'll just copy this. That would make sense. And this will go back to the ordinary thing, and it will help me get this working correctly. And then we'll rename it afterwards. That way I don't have to get really annoyed at how my LSP is doing this. So here I'll just say required args is 1, which isn't always true, but it's fine because I'm hoping that will get rid of the Rust analyzer errors. the compiler errors, so to speak. Okay. Ben name required args1. This looks fine. And this looks fine. Okay. So what do you hate? What do you hate about me now, Rust? Unclosed delimiter. That might be a problem. I just have an unclosed delimiter. And that's because I deleted something I didn't mean to, which was an ending parens. Okay. Well, that's a lot nicer, isn't it? Okay. So then we can do this, and we can change new to 1. And if this compiles, then that means our new constructors work and we're pretty happy with them. And we can finish the rest of these. So I think if there's no args, we're just going to call that. At first I had no args, but since I'm going with the none, I mean the 1, I think I'll just do a none. I know that has another semantic meaning in Rust, but it's okay. When you do your own code, you can call it whatever the fuck you want. One of the beauties of writing code for fun. Okay. So let's call that none. And then I think what I can start with, let's delete this. Let me think what makes sense. Oh yeah, and the point of required args is like how some of these args are going to be user specified and some of these args like I specify myself. Technically all these commands are args, so that's where that comes from. So I think actually from here we can go up and get rid of all of the box news. Got a follow? Thanks for the follow, Gabrielle. I appreciate it. Or Gabriel. Could be Gabriel. It could be Gabriel. It's probably Gabriel. Since there's not like an LE at the end, but it depends. If you're French, right? Then it's Gabrielle. All right. How about that? You have a few projects for me in Rust. I'm going to hate all of your projects to me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, by the way, you can do that there. I do have stream notice there. And we do have a Discord server. It is more FP focused, honestly, but there's quite a few Rust people in there. We do a little bit of everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and replace all those box news. And because I'm not good at these sorts of things, we're just going to select the exact same selection again, because I'm not that great at vimming TBH. And we're going to get rid of what? Straight brace, parentheses. I think that's what I need to get rid of. And parens, and I think that should take care of it. Okay. And then finally, we have to change it one more time. And we're just going to change all these things to 1. And then a couple of them aren't 1s. And we'll fix those. But the majority of them are 1s. Why do you hate me? I'll read it in a second, Amit. I'm just messing with you. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yeah, changing the new to 1. So new becomes 1. Okay. So most of these are going to work, and the few that don't, we can fix. So let's just do this, and we'll do a comma space, delete. Okay. Now that should get rid of that. Okay, that works. Really? Yeah, exactly. Architecture anarchy. All right, let's go. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. It's a great username. Where'd you come up with that one? Okay. And oh yeah, this is actually an interesting case. I just realized some of these are going to be a little different. Let me think about it. All right. Still have a couple more. Excuse me. Classic C. Nothing I can really say here. Bin one. Make. Nope, this is none. Okay, awesome. So I believe we should be compiling, but our data is not actually right yet, which is fine. Caro build. Oh my god, I still typed it Caro. Okay, few Rust project ideas from Amit. Creating Flappy Bird in terminal using Rust. That would actually be really cute. I don't know. That actually doesn't sound terrible. Turning image or webcam footage into ASCII image in terminal. Making something 3D in terminal or some GUI if you want. Those sound terrible. Excel-like program in terminal, also terrible. Twitch chat app in terminal, also terrible. No, I mean some of those are good ideas. Okay, good. So we do have a build. Now we just have to actually figure out, like, this is a lot nicer. It is a lot nicer for sure. Oh, hold on a second. I'm getting a message or something that matters. Nope. Thought I felt a phone call. The Twitch chat would probably be useful for PowerShell, where you can filter the blue background for PowerShell. Imagine using Windows. Just kidding. Kind of. Okay. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, so now we can actually get rid of new altogether, and we can rename new to new. How about it? And that's done. Yeah, thanks for the follow, Keyroll. I appreciate it. Okay, so that looks good. I offended lots of Windows users. It's possible. It is possible. Okay, so now we have the case, like these kind of handle the basic case where there's one or none required arguments and the fact that they all are specified. Now, for the ones that don't have that, I'll probably just want to use the new constructor. And the main two that I can think of are do an exec, which is for OCaml, which we actually have to go back to the old syntax that we had before. No, I can't see. When you do this to me, I can't even see what's happening. Why do you think this is a good idea, Emacs? Why? All right. But we actually have two required args, but one of them has to be user specified. All right, ben new done box new exec 2. What do you hate? Oh, I need another params for the sum. Okay. Happy about that. And the same for racket. We're just going to do this. It's actually a little different for racket. Now, racket technically is going to just have an empty here, but this will be 1. Okay. Imagine having to type backslashes as path separators. Oh, that's a good one. It's a good one. Oh, it's actually why I quit. I tried WSL like one time, and I know it's a lot better than it used to be, but I tried it when it first came out, and I used like some Git tool, or that's what it was. I was using the Windows Git tool at the time. I can't remember what it's called, which works with like the way Windows does paths. But then of course WSL like changes the way all the paths work. And then I switched between the two, and the paths were all fucked up. And I don't remember. It's been a long time. Like that was 10 years ago or something, right? I don't know, something like that. 9 years ago. No, maybe it was more like 10 years ago. Yeah, because then I switched to Linux, and then my work bought me a MacBook. So anyway, it was cursed. That's all I'll say. But I know a lot of very good developers that use Windows. But I would hate it. Apparently the experience is much, much better. You were forced to work with Windows in your first job. Ouch. You bought a Mac from your first salary. Nice one. Nice one. Okay. So this looks good. We moved to all the new constructors. The next thing is basically to actually put in the logic for dealing with required arguments, but I need to go. So we're going to do that next time. But we can now add this as a to-do. I think we're going to do it actually under run, because this is where we're going to actually check if we have all the required arguments, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Jonah Sink, thanks for the follow. So this is just going to say to do check if all args have been provided. If not, try to fill in valid arg. Otherwise, error. Framework laptops are cool. I'm still not sure. Like, if I have to buy... Amit, did you unfollow and follow again? What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, Amit? It's like the third time you've done that, I feel like. Thanks for the follow, Siren. I appreciate it. You're ridiculous. Yeah, frameworks are nice. I haven't decided yet if given the option for my next job, I might act. I'm in a weird position because I'm on an old computer right now. I'm on a 5-year-old Intel MacBook Pro. In general, it's fine. Sometimes it kills me. And I'm most likely getting a new job this year. But I might end up doing some contracting before that. And so I'm not sure yet, like, if I'm gonna need to actually pay for a computer with my own money, which sounds really hard. If I do that, I think I'd have a really hard time giving that money to Apple, and I would probably get a Linux box if I bought it myself. If Work's paying and they give me an option, then that's where the decision becomes a lot harder, because if they're paying and they want to buy me like a M3 Pro $3,500 computer, that might be hard to turn down. I'm not sure what I would do. There's a lot of things I miss about Linux, and I don't love Mac that much, but I still might want an M3 Pro if I had the option to get one. We'll see what happens. Okay, so this is what we're going to do next time we write Rust, which will most likely be next Wednesday. Usually write Rust on Wednesdays. Today we had to do it because the government mandated it. That's a joke. In case you haven't heard the news about the US government, blah, 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 White House notice, you can look it up if you want to. It's silliness. And before that, on Friday, we will probably continue writing more Nix stuff for OCaml projects that I'm working on. And then we'll go from there. So, yep, Nix, OCaml, Rust. It's kind of what we do right now here. If you're interested in any of those things, send me a follow if you didn't already. We plugged YouTube. We plugged Twitter. I think we've plugged all the things. If you want to hang out with us on our multi-streamer Discord, you can do that. I think I already plugged that one too. But let's find somebody to raid.